is found.
What? So they show like they go off of scores then?
Yeah.
Like who has the highest score? That's ridiculous.
They
That's
go
dumb.
based off of other things that whatever.
That's dumb. That's just straight dumb.
That
Yeah.
sounds dumb.
That's dumb.
That's complicated. I don't like it.
First tiebreaker's head to head. Second tiebreaker's interdivision. Third is interdivision. Fourth is last half of intra-league games. Then it's games plus one.
You know what all that is? Confusing.
So, last week, 23 has officially left the business. Season's over with. We are now into postseason. Now, when we look at...
Wait. So that means I really don't have to pay attention, right?
I mean,
no,
currently,
you do, because you're playing
losing
against...
to Shane.
You're losing to Shane, of all players.
Yeah, like losing to Shane, and not by a little bit, by about 100 points. Last week, your team...
You know my default is now football, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm very well aware.
No, that's what I'm saying. When it pops up football.
Yeah, you can still scroll to the top and change it over to baseball.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I haven't touched it, and it just automatically goes to football.
Like, last week, you and Ethan were pretty close there, Coop. There was a point where I was thinking you were gonna lose one.
I thought I was gonna lose.
It'll do it all by itself.
Okay. So
I don't have to do anything.
Like, there was only one day where he actually fully took over and won, but you took most of the week last week. But that one day where he doubled your points, he stayed in the lead until you kind of took it back over going to the end of the weekend. So
barely. I was like looking at it. I was like, uh-oh. That's over now. I lost this one.
I was like, oh god, is he going to be going against Meredith in this playoff round, because he's going to lose to Ethan and lose up that spot seed to Rose. And then Meredith's team was kind of a little bit behind me all week, and then caught up, and then we were neck and neck till like the last 2 days. So I actually thought Meredith was going to kick me out of my 21-2 potential. Thought she was going to give me my third loss this week. That didn't happen.
I had 24 points on one of my days, and then I had like less than 100 on two of them.
Are we talking about this week?
September 2nd. Yeah, September 2nd.
Did you see the Shane versus Kids match last week?
No, I didn't look.
481 to 521. The kid only won because of the differences on the 4th of September, the third match in. It was a 70-point difference. But every day they were within 30 points of each other, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They almost tied on one day, on Saturday, 72 to 71. And they almost tied on Friday, 119 to 110. Like, they were just super close all week. It was kind of hilarious to watch. But I look at Corey's team, and they got above 100 twice, 102 and 131. Didn't show up to play last week. Not even
they haven't showed up in like freaking 12 weeks.
Like, your bench total was at 257. Your earn total was at 512. Your guys that were on the bench could have gotten you points, but at the same time, not really gotten you points. Because it honestly was just batters flipping, flopping back and forth. That would have been the potential win for you, or loss. And that's funny. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So on Sunday, you had one pitcher, Jared Jones, who's on your injured list still.
I
could have
just
got
put
you
him back
44
in.
points. Okay, you might want to do that to see if you could try
I just
that. Okay,
Yeah, you just did.
that was on Sunday. On Saturday, you had 7 points lost. Crochet, another bad outing from Crochet. He's averaging 22 points a start. He's losing a lot of points every time. He had an ERA of 18 on the 7th. He pitched 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he gave up a home run. An ERA of 18 is terrible. Just holy cow. Glad you left him off your point roster that day. But you had all these hitters just earning points left and right, that could have been in, like McMahon. When you put him on the bench, he earns points. You put him on the roster, he doesn't earn points. I still find it funny. And on that Friday match, you had Yennier Cano, who pitched an inning and earned you 10 points, but he's on the bench. So it's batters.
I know we're going to talk about this week, next week, technically, right? Or whatever the next couple goes, right? I lost out on 102 points on the bench this week because I did the quick one because I was like, it's not that big of a deal, right? And it never updated it. It never put those in like they were supposed to.
Really? That's bad.
I missed out on 3 pitchers, which would have brought me to 7 for the week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, would have brought me to 7 for the week, and then I would have had my 6, and I would have been an 11. But I'm not going to be 11.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you had Dylan Cease today on the bench again, and you had Freddie Peralta on the bench today, who didn't get moved over.
Exactly. 10, 11, 12, 13. I would have 13 if I would have put that. I'm going to have 13 since I didn't move them over. And it wasn't on purpose. I didn't do it on purpose. Like, I was like, okay, I'll just like move like Nicholas out and like not worry about him at all. But yeah.
So we're going to come back to our playoff ladder here in a second to talk about who's where and how this all broke down for the league for right now. When we look at the actual league and we look at standings, now for the last couple of weeks, the Yankees and the Orioles have been tied neck and neck. Today, as of today, the Orioles are 3 games back from the Yankees. The Orioles have lost 2. The Yankees have won 3. And there's still a game of difference between both teams.
Way.
Or actually, no, now they're tied. Never mind. They're now tied, 148-148. Who do you think is going to take that? When we look at the AL East, with the Orioles and the Yankees being tied, now they're no longer tied, and there's a 3-game gap. Do you guys think the Orioles will come back and take that again, or do you think they're going to get stuck in the wild card contention?
They might get stuck in the draw here.
They're going to get stuck. No, the Yankees are going to get stuck in wild card, and then they're never going to be able to make it to the playoffs because they suck too bad.
Do you
They
think
just
the Yankees
lost
are going
like
to?
10. They lost like 10 in a row or 15 in a row. Like they're playing terribly.
I mean, yeah, they did. They did lose quite a few, but then they've actually won of their last 10 games. They've won a lot more than you think. Their last 10, they've won 6-4, so that they're winning, losing. They're coming back. ESPN's rating them at 99.9% chance of making it to the playoffs. And then the Guardians right now, if they continue to lose how bad they're losing every game, the Royals are going to take number 1 and the Guardians are going to end up in wild card spot. Do you think that they're going to be able to hold it together, or do you think they're going to
They're
fall
dead.
apart? Think they're
They'll
done?
fall apart.
It's
Kansas
Cleveland.
City's too good this year. Kansas City's too good this year.
Yeah, we got 14 days of baseball left for most of these teams, and they've got to make it to October, and they're just not doing very well. How about the Astros and the Mariners?
Terrible.
Sucked.
It's terrible.
I mean, there's a 5-game difference between both teams right now, and the Rangers are just barely behind the Mariners.
The Mariners are going to be last place again this year.
They can't. They can't be in last place.
Yeah,
again
they are.
this year.
The Angels are just going to all of a sudden win the next 10 in a row, and or 14 in a row, and the Mariners are never gonna win another game, and they're gonna be tied. They're gonna be in last place.
Well, so the Angels are eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, I
and
know.
The Athletics are about to be eliminated from the playoffs.
I know, but there's still 14 games left. So the Mariners aren't gonna win another game, and then the Angels are gonna come back and be ahead of them this year.
That would be bad because the Angels would literally need to. Yeah, they would be tied. They would be 100% tied if they came back and won all 14 games.
See, didn't I say that no team is going to break 100 this year?
No team is going to break 100 this year.
96 is going to be the highest one, and it's going to be by the Orioles or the Yankees. One of the two.
You don't even think the Dodgers are going to get there?
Fuck no. No way.
They need 9 more wins to get to 96. They need 13 to get to 100. They would have to win all.
They're not making it. The Dodgers aren't even that good either.
No.
The
Diamondbacks are ahead of the Padres now, which is crazy. Like for
Arizona's gonna go to the World Series this year.
Well, what I love is that it's the Padres and the Diamondbacks tied for the wild card spot right now.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Arizona's got a 1-game lead on them.
No, they're both tied. 82 and 55.
Arizona Diamondbacks +1. Oh yeah, no, they both got pulled. They're both +1.
Because they're one over the Mets, and then the Braves are out of the wild card spot at the moment with the Mets continually pushing forward, winning, losing.
So since we have the new playoff structure, does it still count as a 1-game playoff if they tie?
No idea. In 2024, they're keeping the previous game, the calculation until one team has a better record. So they will compare teams' results from each game until a winner is found.
Okay, so I have a question on that one then. So if they do that, what if one team or the other team has a like a delayed game? Do they play it or do they mark it as something?
They have to play it.
They don't do a game 163 anymore that they used to do. They only do the top 3 division winners are not going to get to playoffs. 3 more wildcard teams also qualify for each league. The top 2 division winners get a bye. The 3rd division winner plays in the wildcard round, along with all 3 wildcard teams. The wildcard round is the best of 3 series. The first tiebreaker is a head-to-head tie record. Then it's the interdivision record. So if they win head-to-head, they're tied. Then it's whoever has the better interdivision record.
What if they're tied all the way through, though?
Then it's the 3-way tiebreakers. If all above tiebreakers fail to decide a winner, well, there's one last option. They will keep adding the previous game calculation until one team has a better record. They'll compare results from each game before that until a winner is found.
What? So they show, like, they go off the scores then?
Yeah.
Like, who has the highest score? That's ridiculous.
They go based off of other things that whatever.
That's dumb. That's just straight dumb. That's dumb.
That's complicated. I don't like it.
First tiebreaker's head-to-head. Second tiebreaker's interdivision. Third is interdivision. Fourth is last half of intra-league games. Then it's games plus 1.
You know what all that is? Confusing.
Yes.
It's too much.
Agreed.
It's too much. They're making it way too complicated. I do like the fact that they added a couple more teams that are going for division. I do like that.
Try to explain it.
But this whole thing with you guys tie your divisional series and you tie in it, and then so now you scored 11 runs and they scored 10 runs through it. So that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. This should be the 1-game playoff.
I know. It really should be, but don't make the rules. For whatever reason, they decided not to do it this morning.
It doesn't show who's the better team, though.
No.
That's the problem. Having the 1-game playoff shows who's the better team.
Because it's who wants it more. Who's going to fight for it more? That's just my thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have to see how these last 14 days of baseball go as everyone tries to rally in and see who makes the playoffs. Are you hoping the Mariners win 14?
No. 14 days need to go like this.
Am I hoping that I'm hoping that the Astros start losing and then the Mariners start winning? Oh, definitely. Just the more irritating part is
Don't
that
we play the Astros here at some point too? Or
Yes.
are we done with them?
No, the Astros are playing one more series after Texas.
The Mariners, starting, so they're playing against the Rangers right now. They're actually live against the Rangers for their game. Then they have
They're
2
down
more games against
2
the
right now.
for the Mariners this weekend. Then it's the Yankees. Then it's back in Texas. Then it's in Houston, and then Oakland finishes it out. So the teams that the Mariners need to lose are the teams the Mariners are playing to end this season. Oh, and by the way, you can buy tickets for as low as $7 for the Houston Astros, or as low as $8 for the Athletics.
What at the Astros aren't coming to Seattle. They're playing
No, but the Athletics will be in Seattle, and you can buy tickets for as low as $8.
Oh my god!
It'll be the last time they'll be called Oakland.
Yeah.
So this is off topic for a second. So you know the Apple Cup tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So Ticketmaster is $132 for like a $62 ticket. Fucking SeatGeek is $182 for the same 2 tickets.
Yeah.
$52 in fees.
That's ridiculous.
What the fuck?
That is insane. That's why I don't like those app charges for the different providers.
But you can't. But you can't just like. Well, tomorrow you can. You can go up to the ticket
Concession
window tomorrow.
stand. Yeah.
But it's just like. When did it become? I remember what $3, $4, $5. Now it's $35, $40.
What the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? Here we go.
It's insane.
So I just pulled the Mariners wins since Dan Wilson took over. It's no better than when Scott Service was winning.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're 11 and 9, or 9 and 11 since Dan Wilson took over. Because they're about to they're 9 and 12.
So just remember, he did take over at a terrible time.
It doesn't matter. You should still do better. Like if that's the problem, you should still do better. It just goes to show that is clearly not the problem. It is an ownership and GM issue now.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
They need to fire DePoto again. They need to fire him. Get rid of him.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're supposed to.
Or the Mariner or the ownership just needs to be like, have fun, open checkbook. Not open checkbook. Like, of course, you don't want to be like, hey, we're only gonna make this much from tickets this year. Like, they can't go under. Technically, they got like the rights to TV and shit and all this other stuff. So the concessions. So technically, they could go a little higher than the ticket value would be. The estimated amount they were supposed to get this year was $300 million from tickets alone, and their amount that they spent is $118 million. So there is like a $200 million gap in between what they should have been spending. So
we'll see what happens when the last homestand happens, and then we get to see what happens when we go to the World Series or the playoffs, and how the tallies contribute to the end of season stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
For our fantasy league, we talk about playoffs. So currently,
You know what I'm hoping happens? Chicago loses the next 13 games.
Hey, you be nice. Are you talking about the White Sox or the Cubs?
Cubs.
Psh,
The Cubs. 100%.
you watch yourself.
No, watch yourself. Look in the mirror. You can watch yourself.
I'll be like that guy that says, "Oh my God, there's a guy in my sink," and it's not. It's himself.
I got knife hands.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God they're gone. Thank you so much. I wonder why those mushrooms hit me so hard. You've never seen that shit? Have you seen that before?
That was great.
I can't touch anything.
So for our playoff bracket, we've got, with everyone who won last week and everyone who tallied forward, we know we've got Shane and Corey in the consolation bracket, and currently Corey is losing to Shane in the consolation bracket. So we'll see if Corey keeps his hands in the air and just doesn't do anything about it for the next 3 weeks. But we've got me and Ethan who have earned our buys for the season. So we've got the first week off for playoffs. And it ended up being a tie between you and Rose, Coop, to where you took number 3 spot, Rose took number 4 spot. And we've got Meredith and Rose going at it, and then we've got you and the kid going at it. And it's a pretty tight game between you and the kid. Rose and Meredith is not as tight a contest as I thought it was going to be. Here's a question, though. When it gets to the next round, now that you are against Ethan, probably next round, who do you think's going to win, you or Ethan? I lose to Rose.
Why do you say that?
So statistically speaking, when I look at our breakdowns for the total season, the last 4 weeks of play for Rose, he has averaged a score of, where'd it go? Averaged a 789. I've averaged an 872. The last 2 weeks, he's been at a 770. I've been at an 870. But he's been close to 800, 900 points. And I have barely, for the last couple of weeks, hit just over 800. And he's been above me a couple times. I think that there's a chance that Rose actually takes this one away from me.
Good. I hope it's that way. Good. But you'll just add points anyway. So
yeah, okay.
There's always
because I add points.
I don't think Corey's even paying attention.
I
don't think so either.
To winning the game. I'm listening. Well, just because it looks like I'm zoning out does not mean I'm not
actually
paying attention.
That's a shocker.
So
currently, we're talking about. You're not supposed to punch yourself in the nuts.
I do it all the time, dude.
You better do a supercut. At the end of this, you better do a supercut of every single time that one of us hurts one of ourselves. You got to do it.
You also had to put in Tim hailing Hitler. That was pretty funny.
Captain of the Third Reich.
The Third Reich going to win playoff game. Yes.
So, do we think that you're going to beat the kid this week, too?
No. I mean, since I left 3 pitchers on the bench where I lost points, probably not.
And do we think that Rose is going to beat Meredith this week, or do we think that Meredith is going to bring that back?
Let's give it Meredith.
You think it's going to be Meredith? I don't know. I'm rooting for Rose right now.
Let's
just see. I want to see how close.
Meredith is the easier matchup. Rose is the harder matchup. I want the Rose match.
Let's see. So tomorrow, 1. The following day, 1. Oh, I got it. No, I'm going to win.
You got it?
100%. He has 2 pitchers. I have 5 between now and the end of the week. So no correction. I got 6. I have 6.
As long as your guys don't get benched, you should be fine.
I'm gonna try to look at it because it's too close. I thought it would be a blow up.
For the next 2 days.
You gonna focus, or are you gonna stay being dumb?
Meredith has 2 pitchers for the next 2 days.
Blinded by the light.
And for the next 2 days on Rose's side.
Shit is bright as fuck.
What is going on? What is going on with my camera? There we go.
Will not have any pictures on Sunday.
So proud of you.
Well, I had to turn off autofocus to fix it.
It's still bright.
Autofocusing. It's because I changed the fucking brightness.
Because I started fucking with everything and I don't know how to fix it.
How about I do this instead?
Well, it's better for my eyes.
No, what I did is I need to turn up the sharpness for you. Actually, that looks pretty. That actually looks good.
Looks like you're walking into the halls of like you're like when the gates open and all that bright light comes out.
All right, guys, that'll do it for.
That actually looks good. The sharpness actually looks pretty good when it's on here.
Just gotta get rid of that bright light in the background. It's hurting my eyeballs.
It's because they have it. It's the actual like light that's right there.
It's the third Reich strike Tim unleashed on you.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's any different. I don't know why it's any different because it's always been on.
Yeah, I don't know. Your light. Maybe just clean the lens of your camera. I don't know.
Weird. I tried changing it. I changed it to auto. I changed it to manual. I tried to do the auto white balance. I tried everything, but I mean, it doesn't look bad. Just for some reason, that is really bright this time. And I don't understand why. It makes no sense to me.
So, all right, guys, let's call it good for episode 23, and let's see how we roll into playoffs next week as we figure out how that's gonna. I love seeing Super Hiccup.
All right, back up because you're kind of breaking the camera. Back up. I can hear it cracking.
Do you need to see what's in there?
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Tune in for the first week of our playoffs here on Baseball Stat Nerds.
Just